In the restless heart of Oakhaven, where broken promises whispered through alleyways and sleek high-rises touched new hope, 16-year-old Kalen Vance moved like a shadow down Willow Creek Lane. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, casting a golden bruise across the sky. His basketball echoed softly as it bounced along the pavement. Earbuds in, hoodie up, his world narrowed to rhythm and melody. Kalen was tall, wiry, his posture loose but alert. His caramel skin glowed in the twilight, and his eyes, sharp, knowing, missed nothing. Since moving from the suburbs with his father, Elias Vance, Kalen had been trying to blend in, avoid trouble, and rebuild his routines. But Oakhaven didn't make things easy. 2 blocks from home, a dark sedan pulled alongside him, rolling slow, tires whispering against the asphalt. Kalen's instincts stirred. He didn't flinch. He kept walking. Then came the voice, gravelly clipped. "Evening, son. Got a minute?" He pulled out an earbud and turned. The car's tinted windows offered only shadows, but he could feel the weight of scrutiny. "Name?" the man in the passenger seat barked. That was Detective Harding, gruff, middle-aged, with a thin veneer of control. Beside him, slick-haired and unreadable, sat Detective Thorne. Thorne was already stepping out, a hand near his hip. "Kalen Vance. I live nearby. Just came from the community center," he said evenly, masking the unease crawling through his chest. "No ID?" Harding asked, stepping out. "Didn't bring it. Was playing ball. I live at 17 Oakwood." Harding's tone turned hard. "We've had some break-ins around here. You fit the description." Kalen stared. "I've been here 2 weeks." Thorne circled closer. "Mind if we search you?" Kalen hesitated. "I haven't done anything. I just want to go home. Hands where I can see them." Thorne didn't wait. Kalen complied, his breath tightening. Harding moved in, patting him down with an air of suspicion that stung more than the rough contact. "Easy," Kalen muttered. "I didn't do anything." "You're acting suspicious," Harding snapped. "I live here." "Yeah? That's what they all say." Then Thorne grabbed his wrist. "Wait, what are you doing?" The cold steel of handcuffs snapped around his wrists. "You're being detained for questioning." "For walking home?" Kalen shouted, disbelief and fear colliding in his voice. They shoved him into the back seat. His basketball rolled into the gutter, abandoned. At the precinct, they avoided the front entrance, slipping Kalen through a side door like a secret. They ignored protocol, ignored his age. To them, he was a case, not a KID, in a bare interrogation room. Kalen sat alone, cuffs biting his wrists. Harsh light buzzed above him. The walls seemed to close in. "I want to call my dad," he said softly. Harding chuckled. "After a few questions." "Where were you headed?" "Home," Kalen repeated. "Got proof?" Thorne asked. "I told you. I was at the community center. No phone, no ID, because I was playing ball." "You fit the description," Thorne said flatly. "Dark hoodie, sweatpants, tall. That's half the city." Kalen's voice cracked. "That's not cause to cuff me." "Watch the tone," Thorne warned, stepping in close. Kalen sat rigid, jaw tight, fists clenched behind him. Down the hall, the precinct doors slammed open. A man in a dark suit entered, his stride smooth but urgent. Elias Vance, newly sworn-in chief of police for Oakhaven's North Sector, didn't need directions. He'd gone home to find his son missing, and a neighbor's quiet comment about a patrol car on Willow Creek Lane had sent alarms ringing in his head. He marched through the station like a storm barely restrained. He turned a corner and saw Kalen through the small window. His son, cuffed, eyes blazing with fury and fear. Elias opened the door. No knock, just presence. "Get those damn cuffs off my son." Harding blinked, confused. "Sir, who are you?" "I'm Elias Vance. Chief Vance. And that boy is my son." Thorne paled. Kalen's jaw dropped. "Dad, uncuff him. Now." Elias's voice was quiet, dangerous. Harding fumbled with the keys. "We didn't know," he began. "No, you didn't," Elias cut him off. "You saw a black kid walking home and decided he didn't belong. That's your protocol." "But he fit a description." Thorne tried. "Save it," Elias growled. "I want your badges and written statements today. Suspended pending investigation." Harding stammered. But Chief, you cuffed a minor. You racially profile my son. No supervision, no call to a guardian. You think that's policing? Thorne looked like he wanted to disappear. Kalen rubbed his wrists, still too stunned to speak. Elias put a hand on his son's shoulder. Come on, let's go home. But just as they stepped into the hall, a sharp voice rang out. Chief Vance, wait. A woman in plain clothes stood ahead, badge at her belt. Her gaze flicked to Kalen, then back to Elias. I need a word with you, she said. It's about what your son may have seen tonight. Kalen stood, rubbing his wrists, staring at his father with a mix of profound relief and awe. Come on, son, Elias said, placing a firm hand on Kalen's shoulder. Let's go home. They walked out in silence. Every officer in the station stopped what they were doing, some whispering, others standing straighter. No one dared to speak. Outside, the cool evening air embraced them. Kalen looked up at his dad as they approached the car. I didn't think you'd get here so fast. I told you, Elias said, opening the car door for him. Wherever you are, I've got your back. Thanks. For real. I'm sorry, son. You didn't deserve that. Kalen hesitated before getting in. They looked at me like I was nothing. You're not nothing, Elias said, his voice firm. You're my son, and that means something. Not just because of me, but because you matter. You hear me? Kalen nodded slowly. Yeah, I hear you. Back at their quiet home on Oakwood Drive, Kalen sat on the porch steps while Elias made a few calls inside. Across the street, their neighbor, Mrs. Albright, a kind, elderly woman, quietly left a glass of sweet tea beside him. No words were exchanged, just a small gesture of unspoken support. Kalen sipped the tea, his mind still racing, replaying the moments. The click of the cuffs, the dismissive tones, the way they had seen him not as a kid, but as a problem, a threat. It wasn't a new feeling, but tonight it was sharper, more visceral. Later that night, Elias sat down next to him on the porch, the soft glow of the porch light a small beacon in the gathering darkness. You all right? He asked. Kalen shrugged. I'm still pissed. Good. Stay pissed. But use it. How? By living. By speaking up. By not letting them write your story for you. Kalen leaned back against the wooden post. I didn't think being the chief's son would even matter. Elias exhaled slowly. It shouldn't have to. That's the problem. There was a long pause, filled with the chirping of crickets and the distant hum of a car. Kalen finally spoke, his voice barely audible. They didn't even ask who I was. They just saw me and decided I was guilty. I know, Elias said, his voice resolute. And tomorrow, I'm going to make sure the whole department knows that stops now. Kalen turned to him, a flicker of hope in his eyes. You really think you can change it? I don't know, Elias admitted honestly. But I'm damn sure going to try. Kalen nodded, a faint smile touching his lips. Then I'll try too. That's my boy. In the days that followed, news of the incident rippled through the Oak Haven Police Department. Some officers quietly grumbled, siding with Harding and Thorne, muttering about overreactions. Others, particularly the younger recruits, began to pay closer attention. Policies were reviewed, and body camera usage became strictly enforced. Elias Vance stood firm. He sought not vengeance, but systemic change. As for Kalen, he returned to the community center a week later, hoodie on, basketball in hand. Some kids initially gave him a wide berth, but he played hard, his focus unwavering. He wasn't just playing the game anymore. He was observing not just the basketball court, but everything around him. And when a young officer, new to the force, pulled up to the edge of the court and offered a friendly wave, Kalen didn't flinch. He looked the man in the eye, and this time he wasn't afraid.